What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Afterburner. He's Mikey. I'm Jordan. I got Yasmin producing tonight. Breaking down the game against the Stars, or should I say the fans versus Don Maloney? It almost, honestly, the last 2 minutes of the game, it was like, okay, this could be the chance. The fans could stick it to Don Maloney if the Stars score on this 5-on-3. But no, Don Maloney gets to stick it to the fans after it's all said and done. We'll get into a little bit of the chat, the Don Maloney chat. I don't know when you want to do it. You want to do it off the hop or you want to wait? They brought it up in the second intermission. I know you've been fuming about it all day long.
I am not in a good place as we're doing this.
Afterburner is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, download the app and get in on the game. Use the code NATION. Proceeds from Super Chat go to Youth Centers of Calgary. Youth Centers of Calgary is a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, a place where they have to break from the chronic stress that is the reality of many of their lives and can flourish through fun and connection. You want to get your chat on the show tonight, make a little donation. It's for the kids. So, you want to get into the game? You want to get into the Don Maloney interview?
Well, I think we can get into the game a little bit first just because, hey, the Huss dog must listen to the show, eh?
Finally changed up those shootout selections.
You can't put Kadri in the shootout. His career percentage sucks. That's why you can't put him in the shootout.
I remember we were in the playoff hunt late in the season. You hadn't seen Kadri in the shootout, but yet he was scoring clutch goal after clutch goal, keeping the boys' playoff hopes alive night after night after night. And then it was that game. I think he had 2 goals, and Husk didn't put him in the shootout selection. We had to see probably Anderson or Huberdeau again, and it was a battle online. The amount of people just like, oh no, you got to go with the career numbers,
the percentages. That's how you do it in the shootout.
It's not how you do it. Any coach will tell you go with the hot hand. You go with your clutchest guy. Kadri with it was probably the sickest goal, shootout goal I've seen since Johnny Gaudreau did that like backhand from the half boards.
Yeah, that was nasty. That's the thing with Nas is that he's clutch and he's got nasty hands. So you always put him in the shootout. I don't give a shit about his percentage. You go with your guys. The shootout selection is an art, not a science. You go with your guys, and they went with their guys. They even put Coronato in. We didn't see
finally.
We didn't see any Huberdeau hijinks. We didn't see any Anderson hijinks. So Huska must have seen me just going.
We did see a little Sharon Govich. That was a little bit of a head scratcher.
I don't mind that one.
You don't hate it as much, but the guy is just obviously not feeling this season. So I hate the coach's mentality when they're like, okay, well, maybe this will get him going if he scores in a shootout goal. That's not how you get guys going. You put the guys that are already going. Pressure. Yeah, put the guys already going, already feeling it in the shootout. That should be no-brainer selections.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Kadri said, right? Like you go with your dogs, except he was talking about Mikko Rantanen in that sense, being a dog. So he's gone from being a dog to being an insane person. So I think Rantanen for the time being, for like 5 minutes here, has become number one op. He took Don Maloney's spot as Flames fans' number one op. What the fuck is he doing?
That was disgusting hit.
That was brutal.
And this is like days after that dirty hit in that sent Patrick Waugh. We're gonna send.
Oh yeah. And I mean, what did he do to Zeri last year? I mean, that was accidental, but he like busted up Zeri's leg. Like, he's just a monster human. But dude, that was huge. That was insane. He obliterated Matthew Coronato's face. I don't know how Coronato came back. He comes back in the game. His whole face is like wrecked. It was crazy.
Yeah. All right, let's kick things off with the lineup. Not too much changing in the lineup from night to night right now.
Finally,
it's funny. You guys start to build some chemistry. What's what happens? You're not filling around every single goddamn night.
I like how in every tweet that's going on about the Flames right now, all the comments are just fire Maloney. Steinberg tweets the lines, fire Maloney. Flames tweet like player to watch, fire Maloney.
The green M&Ms are going nuts, and I think Maloney was trending on Twitter. Was it today or yesterday? Just fired everybody up. Notables here: Beecher makes a second start, and Cooley's gets the first home start of his career, coming off his first win of his career. He was fucking great,
dude. He was unreal.
especially in the first period. Just
Oh yeah, what were the shots 7-0 or something within the first 5 minutes? Dallas had an insane swarm. I think scoring chances, high danger. The Flames ended up getting a few, but they were like 7-6 nothing. They were like 6-7 nothing by about the 5-minute mark. So it was crazy. He pretty much won this game for them because it could have been over. It was looking like we're gonna stick it to Don Maloney from the fans night, and Cooley held him in there. So I hope old Don makes his way down from the rafters and shakes Devin Cooley's hands, maybe takes him for a spray tan tomorrow because he won.
Hopefully he washes his hands first. It was looking pretty greasy these days. Also notable, Hanzik out for the season after that run Backlund. Nothing like your captain ending your season, eh?
That's the Flames' thing I've ever seen in my life.
You texted me like, what is Cooley on? Dude's a nihilist.
Dude's crazy.
He doesn't care about anything.
He's crazy. Every time I hear him talk, I'm like, that dude's nuts. He's crazy. And I mean, he's got a bunny. I follow his bunny on Instagram. Great follow. Tito Cooley. Great follow. But dude, he's certifiably insane, this guy. He's crazy.
And I know Cooley has been it was a big question mark after preseason because the preseason numbers were horrendous. He had a great the first 2/3 of last year in the AHL, and then his numbers kind of dipped after that. So you weren't really sure exactly what you're getting, but he's been outstanding in pretty much all his starts.
He's been unreal. Has he played? I think John Garrett said, has he played a bad period this season? I don't think so. I don't think there hasn't been one moment where he's been in the net where he's been bad. He's been excellent. And like you said, in the preseason, it was like, holy shit, dude. Like, we really are going tank mode here. If this guy's our backup and Wolf's playing every single game, Wolf's on track to play 70 games, but he's really settled in and, good on him. It's nice to see.
It's also good for Wolf, right? Because Husky, like you said, he's been smashing the Wolf button every night. Terrified to not go with Wolf, but I think he's feeling a little more confident when he's got his backup now. So,
yeah.
All right, let's get into some highlights. We got a Devin Cooley pack. Speaking of the devil, right off the hop, this guy had a lot of good saves early on.
Yeah, he was great. Like, and the Stars were buzzing. I wasn't particularly impressed with the Stars through the entirety of the game, but first 10 minutes was just all Stars, man.
Yeah, I haven't looked at their schedule, but I don't know. Are we starting to become that team where teams see us on the schedule and they it's maybe a bit of a B game against us, or what's going on?
Well, it looked like a B game from Dallas tonight for sure. And I mean, anytime Gulletsen's behind the bench, and I mean, they're on their Western road trip, so like he's doing his
PP specialist. Couldn't draw up the winning goal on the 5-on-3 tonight.
Bro, we used to joke about this when he was on the Oilers bench, but it's like anytime you'd flash to the bench and there's Gulletsen writing up a play, you're like, yeah, they're not scoring here. He's chuckling with Robertson when they need a goal. He's just having a good old time. Wonder if the boys had a beer on the train on the ride over here to Calgary from Vancouver. I wonder if old Gully said, hey boys, why don't you just go have a beer in the back there, and brought them all together for that one. But yeah, I don't know. Dallas didn't look particularly great other than the first 5 minutes. So yeah, it's the Gulletsen effect. I hate seeing his face. Here's the thing. Ryan Huska's annoying me. And then they kept flashing back and forth to the benches, especially during that period of time where there was like a lull in the play where they were figuring out the penalties. And it was just like Gulletsen, Huska. And I was like, PTSD, hate. It was really bad. I really hate Glenn Gulletsen.
After watching Don Maloney all day, it's a way to kick it off.
That's right.
Flames going early power play. Cotter draws that. Nothing really happened other than the Stars getting a breakaway chance. Cooley shuts the door. And then Cotter drew another penalty, and then what do you know? We got a PP goal. Let's throw that out.
Which I think the rest of the team combined has 5 or 6. So I like that.
He's been so good lately. Yeah. He's just been a buzzsaw just all around it. Is that why Rantanen target him tonight?
Yeah, possibly.
It seemed like it was a bit of a target hit. I mean, we'll show it in a bit here, but
he's been great ever since they stopped like effing around with the lines.
Ever since he sat a couple games out in the press box time. It
was the old press box trick that worked. But ever since they've just let him settle in, let him play with Frost and Huberdeau, stuck with the same units. Wow, consistency in your line mates. What a difference. But he's been great. He's been shooting the puck a ton. He's been all over it. So it's good to see. I know we all want the tank, but I also like seeing Coronato play well.
Whoa, did Morton have a bad giveaway? Eh? Just right up the gut.
That's right through here. No big deal.
Cooley shuts the door. We got another Cooley highlight here. I'm not sure if it was that one or a 2-on-1 save. Let's see. Not the turnover. 2-on-1 save.
Yeah, that's a nice save. That's an unreal save.
He was just solid.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're a team like the Flames where you got to grind out wins, that's probably really helps your mentality, right? When you can see, the goalie's got our back tonight. Let's just fucking grind this out and see what happens.
Yeah, he's great.
Do we have two Wolves in the pack now? We got Destin Wolf backed by Devin Cooley, and they're both looking like great goaltenders.
Yeah, and this was kind of the conversation last year, before he fell off with the Wranglers. He was having a great start. And, it's like we had Wolf. LeVar was playing pretty good. It's like we're stacked down in net here for a while. So if he can settle into a role, that would be great for Wolf, because I know we really like to see them ride Wolf. We were annoyed with how hesitant they were to play him last year. But now that he's established in that role, the guy needs some fucking nights off, and he needs to be able to settle into a routine and not be like, this team needs me to win every single game and I'm going to have to play 65 games. So, I really hope Cooley can keep. It's been one of the better storylines of the year for sure.
So 1-0 after one. You got any stats you want to get to after one?
Well, I thought both teams played. This was kind of I was thinking about, we covered the game last weekend and it was so boring.
Yep.
Just a snooze fest. But tonight was a lot of action. It was a high event Flames game. High danger chances after 1-7 for Dallas, 6 for Calgary. So pretty good little period for both teams.
The Derek Newman Group with CIR Realty, buying or selling. Let Derek do the work for you. Email at dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call 403-619-6661 or visit dereknewmangroup.com. Community and connection beyond real estate. The Derek Newman host fun client events and parties and have created a community where people genuinely enjoy being a part of the group. They treat our clients well, from possession gifts and referral perks to little surprises and parties. If you're interested in buying or you're selling your home in the greater Calgary area, call Derek at 403-619-6661. It'll make it easier for you. Let Derek put his network to work for you. All right, on to the second period. Coronato was buzzing again. I think he was obviously – was he your best player tonight?
Yeah, I think so. He was great. Maybe
outside of Cooley. Yeah.
Best skater for sure.
Uyghur had a nice setup to Beecher. I don't know. This seems to I'm halfway into the second period. Is this the Flames look good? Was this one of their, if not their best game of the season, one of them?
Yeah, I thought, I was kind of debating, does Dallas just suck? Or do we actually look good?
Or are they just taking a night off?
It kind of felt like a bit of that, but I don't know. I've watched a lot of Glenn Gulletson hockey in my life, way too much. Glenn Gulletson almost made me rage quit watching the Calgary Flames. So I was just thinking, yeah, this is probably a Gulletson team. They looked kind of sloppy. They weren't totally sharp. So I thought the Flames came to play, executed their game, unfortunately, because Don Maloney loved it. He was up there just loving it all night. But yeah, I thought that's probably the best game the Flames played all year. But they almost blew it. I think even if they do blow that, that's probably the best 60 minutes they've played for sure. And fortunately for them, that penalty kill, the penalty going into overtime kind of helped them, because then they could play 4-on-4 instead of being exposed to 3-on-3, which we're terrible at. So they played well.
There was one breakout pass to Huberdeau. I forget. I'm not sure who the D-man was. Long stretch pass. He dished over to Frost, and they came down.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good scoring chance.
That was vintage Huberdeau. I haven't seen Huberdeau do that in 3-4 years. That was a great play. Where's that Huberdeau been?
We don't have that clip, but we do have Cooley robbing Rantanen on a 2-on-1. This is after the Anderson penalty.
Fuck. Just want to say Matt Coronato had led the team tonight. 6 high danger scoring chances, even though he missed a few. He had 6 shots, 8 shot attempts, 6 high danger scoring chances. Holy smokes.
One more Cooley highlight to throw up here in the second period. Yeah.
Our game. Well, the Flames kind of do what the Flames kind of do, is kind of lock down in the third period. Entire game, high danger chances, 19 for the Flames, 15 for the Stars. So like you said, that's Crazy high event for the Flames. 5-on-5, Calgary dominated. 13 at 5-on-5. Dallas had 5. So that's a really solid game for the Flames. And they can, hey, Ryan, Mr. Huska, you can loosen up a little bit. Didn't you like watching that game a little more than like some of these other games?
Yes. Fuck.
You can lip these guys game with the ball. You can loosen it up a little bit.
You don't have to play low event hockey.
You don't have to play the most boring hockey we've ever seen and make us all want to off ourselves, dude.
Well, and he made some different selections in the OT and shootout. Well, not so much in the OT. Didn't really see too much. It was 4-on-4 for what? Over 4 minutes.
People want to watch movies with David Cooley. Yeah, he clarified he's not. He was in Instagram comments the other day because his like quote funny. Went viral about him being like, "Oh, you're gonna die and nothing matters." And he's in the comments of the post being like, "Actually, I need to clarify." It's like a fucking paragraph. It's great.
We got a Zari chance. We'll throw this up before we get to the Rantanen hit.
Yeah, I thought Zari had a pretty good game actually.
He's starting to look a little.
It's called being autistic.
And he's playing with back on Coleman again.
Yeah.
Well, that helps getting more.
It helps. You know, he's going to play. Those guys are going to do what they're going to do at 5-on-5. As long as they're not injuring you, you're probably going to benefit from playing with them. So.
Okay, let's get to this Rantanen hit. This fucking pissed me off to no end.
Bruh, like I said, this made me. I was fuming all day with Don Maloney. That's fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah. You can see that there's plenty of time to see the guys in a vulnerable position. You know, they try and teach you this in minor hockey. When you see the numbers, you stop. They got the little stop signs in minor hockey for that. And he just like, no, I'm going to drill this guy from behind, face first into the boards.
That's brutal.
He had like
right into that stanchion.
3 seconds. Look, just leaking coming off the ice.
It's just bleeding all over the place. That was brutal.
That was a nasty hit.
Like, what is he thinking? What is with this guy? And, you know, like the other hits, like earlier in the week against the Islanders, you know, that's maybe an unfortunate play, and he's just a big oaf.
Yeah, but even still, man, you can't push a guy hard. You got to know how big you are, dude. Like,
yeah, he has no control over his size and stature. It's crazy.
You can't be like that. Could have been so much worse than it was. If the guy doesn't go down on his knees and protect himself, like, he could go on head first right into the board.
So he leads the league in power play goals and power play points and penalty minutes. Did I hear that correctly? That's insane. Yep. That's like a Matthew Tkachuk stat. But dude, that was brutal. He should be suspended for that. Yeah. Good on old Hubie for jumping in there. That's the best thing I've seen Jonathan Huberdeau do in a Calgary Flames uniform in 3.25 years here. That was awesome. But
we got Huberdeau's retribution. Here it comes.
Here I come. Yeah.
Doesn't even think about it. He's like, I don't care how big this guy is. He gets a good little jab in. He got one quick jab in, like right off the hop. That was nice.
He's got that French rage, dude. But yeah, dude, he was just leaking. You could see he came back and his face is just wrecked. He's got like this black eye. Dude, that's a brutal place to get smashed. Have you ever done that? Like, smash your nose there?
Yeah. I
did that once, and it took like months and months and months to heal. It's just brutal. Like, that's the worst. And dude, I was pissed because like you said, Coronato's just getting on this roll, just starting to kick it into gear, just starting to look like the player he was last year, just starting to get comfortable scoring goals, having a whale of a game, and he's going to get fucking pegged like that.
Well,
that would have been brutal.
Anytime your best or one of your best players gets hit like that, it's infuriating because you can't help but think that a guy like Rantanen in that moment is doing it intentionally, just because he's one of the better players. But like, what do you think suspension wise? I'm not sure exactly what his history is.
Dude, you never know.
He's got to get at least a game for that, right?
You got to get a game for that, you'd think. Pike's in the comments. He says Coronato doesn't know how many stitches he got. How many do you think you get for that?
Just looking at his face afterwards, I was thinking like 8, 10. He had it all over, like across the entire bridge of his nose.
Dude, how do you even come back from that?
He's a fucking warrior.
He's an Italian. That's why. He's got that Italian. He's got that gangster. He's got that. You know what? Coronato's a dog. As we're talking about dogs, he's a fucking dog. He's definitely a dog.
Look at his eyes are already going black, dude.
Dude, I know you can see his eye. It's like, oh man, how is he even? Oh.
And then he almost scored again. He was all over it in the third period after that as well.
Yeah, he was great. See what I mean? He's a dog. That guy's a dog. You can tell the dogs early on. That guy's a dog. You wait five years from now when we're in like a nasty playoff round, getting slammed by Anaheim, that kid's going to be one of our best players.
Fuck yeah. Whenever something like that happens, I'm just like, fuck, I can't wait to the third period and see Klapker fucking knock this guy out. But he gets kicked out for the game. I was kind of hoping we could see Klapker beat his dumb face in. But
yeah, somebody's got to beat his face in next time we
they'll
play
be
them.
Because that's now Zari and Coronato. Yeah. And I know the Zari one
two
debatably is more accidental, but then he's sitting on top of him. So that's twice now.
Accidental, but like you said, this big oaf's got to learn. Like, what is he doing? He's got this monster body. Like, he can't just be like.
That's two like extremely dangerous hits in like less than a week. So I don't know. The league's, the players in the league pay attention to all this stuff.
Yeah. So Rantanen, he's got to pay the toll next time. But hey, again, good on Huberto. I love that shit. I know some
fucking
people
love it. Attaboy, Hubie.
No, we don't want to riot. We don't want it. No. That's
the great thing about Hubie is like you can tell he didn't even think about it. He's like, I'm dropping him. That's it.
He's got that dad French. He's just pissed off now that he's a dad all the time. He's just got to unleash some rage.
Attaboy, Hubie. Attaboy. Any second period stats?
Flames dominated. High danger scoring chances at 5-on-5 or 8-1. All situations were 8-3. So yeah, they came out first 10 minutes. I thought they were great. You know what? They played really well. That's probably the best period we've seen from this team. Fuck. I was thinking about Don Maloney. He's listening to my words right now and watch the game. He's like, see, if we just play our game, we're going to be a playoff team. But they played their game. They played well in the second. So.
And Cooley was outstanding. All right. The Unicorn and Unicorn on 4th, 2 locations. The Unicorn 223 8th Avenue Southwest, Calgary Super Pub, 3 floors, 3 bars, 1 destination, the Sports Cantina, all things sports, hockey, football, UFC, plus games like Golden Tee, Buck Hunter, pinball, darts, and more. Game day, $7 pints of Molson, located in the heart of Stephen Avenue, Unicorn on 4th, 1919 4th Street Southwest, second location on the corner of 20th Ave and 4th Street. Daily specials, happy hour, and a brunch on Saturday and Sunday. All right, it's time. They get to the Don Maloney interview in the second intermission.
It's time.
Friedman himself is using the don't pour gasoline on the fire. He thinks the Flames himself made a big mistake by addressing this early on with the message that Don Maloney had to send. I know the fan base as a whole has just been irate for the last 40 hours. After the video with Brendan Parker, then the 2-piece article that Francis comes out with. I know you have a lot to say, so I'll let you take it away. We talked about it a bit on our last episode before the articles came out, and I know there's kind of 2 trains of thought. One train of thought is, well, what's he supposed to say? You want to send a good message to the group, yada, yada, yada. Could be optics. And the second train of thought is, I think they actually believe that this seems good.
Well, like I said, when we got on here, I've not been in a good place today. I had to turn my hat around because I couldn't see, and I'm trying to go on a big rant here. And I haven't been in a good place. I think I've been like a lot of Flames fans. I've just been texting DMing some people on Instagram today. A lot of people feel the same. It's just, I've been fuming all day. And if it wasn't 11:40 at night, and I'm like a dog. Like, I'm just like,
we got you in your most docile hour of the day.
I'm tuckered out, so I'm not
you tuckered yourself out.
Yeah, I'm tired out, so I can't run around and bark for like an hour. But it's still just like underneath the surface where it's just like I've been boiling with rage all day, and I think a lot of people feel that way. And like you said, like Elliot said, what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Because he goes on 5 minutes in the intermission. And I know the guys on Friday did a great show about it. I thought they were absolutely on point, absolutely nailed everything. We talked about it on our show. It's just like, what are they thinking doing that? What was the thought process? Oh, it's optics. It was terrible optics. And then you see yesterday, Francis has a follow-up piece. And I'm thinking, as I think everyone was thinking, this is going to be damage control.
This is going to be taming the fire a little
Yeah,
bit.
he's
Not,
gonna
not pouring
come.
more gasoline on it.
He's gonna come put out some fire. He knows that wasn't the best appearance. He's gonna come give us some sense that he's not a babbling old fool, delusional. He's gonna give us. He's gonna, maybe kind of ease up on the talking down to fans. He's gonna ease up on condescending. He's gonna come clarify some things. This is gonna be a little puff piece to clear up some things. Nope, double down, completely double down, even harder on every single issue that pissed everyone who watched that intermission interview off. It was just like he doubled down and dug his heels in so deep, and he didn't even just like pour gasoline on that fire. Like the guy was like the Joker in The Dark Knight, where he like lights that entire 50 million stash of cats. And it's just like, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. It's like, what are you thinking? Obviously the Flames PR department or whoever, like, who decided he could do that? Who decided to trot him out in front of camera? Never do that.
We know he's not good live.
Never do that.
The last time we saw that he was banging on a desk.
Last time he's crying about his friend Brad Shiliving leaving the organization, tears. And we're all like, holy shit, dude. Where did they pull this guy out of? What Arizona, like retirement home did they pull this guy out of? Holy smokes. And then he's doubling down. Like, don't stop. Lock him in the bowels of the saddle. Never let him speak again. Lock him, evacuate Steinberg out of the hot stove lounge, shoved on in there, shut the door, lock it. Don't let him out for like a week. What were they thinking?
Yeah, you got to be like, Don, they want you to go on camera again. Why don't you go get rid of the hot stove lounge? We'll see you in 20. Someone just locks him in there, lets him out 3 days later. Oh, sorry, Don, we forgot you're in there.
Totally forgot. It would save a world of hurt because, people, like you said, some people are like, well, what's he supposed to say? Okay, how about anything other than what he said? How about anything other than that? Well, what's he supposed to say? Well, he doesn't have to go out of his way to like tell the fans how stupid they are, does he? He has to do that. I don't think he has to do that. It was just crazy. And I mean, this whole two-part article is just crazy. And I know what burned me up, at least, and from talking to some people, what burned them up. It's like, okay, it's like we can handle the delusion, even though that's insane. We can handle the nonsense. We can handle that you're like incompetent, but the way that it came across in such like an arrogant, like we know better manner is just what blew everybody's tops off and just like was like, holy cow, this is insane.
Like you said, the boys on Barnburner had a great segment on. I think they went on for about 45 minutes. Dean was fired up.
Yeah.
Pinder, he's keeping it cool for now. I think, he said the one thing that he didn't say, which he should have said, you can say all that, but at least say, come, trade deadline, if we're out of it, there'll be some changes made. And at least that was one thing that he said in the article. He said it's still November, but if we're sitting here in February and March and we continue to flounder, obviously there will be changes. So
yeah, well, we follow
thankfully we saw that. But I mean, that was amidst a whole slew of more of what you're saying, just talking down to the fan base, finger wagging, as you like to call it,
saying insane statements, delusional statements that totally unnecessary. Like this, it could have literally been as simple as like you'd expect. And again, this is what burns people up. You would expect the president of a franchise. And again, like Dean was talking about on Barnburner the other day, this is a really critical time.
Yeah, this
for
is
the
like
franchise.
Yes, pivotal.
And the temperature in the fan base, like we're all kind of on edge right now. We're all kind of like really nervous and hoping they make the right moves and hoping they do the right thing right now because we know where this could go if they screw around, because we've watched this team our entire lives. We know this is a fork in the road moment and we want the team to make the right decisions. So we're all super sensitive. We're all on super high alert. So for him to come out and say everything that he said, especially as the president of a team who, let's face it, is one of the most unsuccessful franchises in the NHL, certainly in the modern era, in the last 25 years, since the lockout, since Murray Edwards bought the team, in most of our lifetimes, no success, zero success. This will be, they're currently in the midst of what will be their 4th straight year out of the playoffs. At the time of all of this coming out, they were in last. We're not in last anymore, which totally sucks, by the way.
Yeah, you got two games in hand though. So
yeah, we got
Nashville.
We got Vancouver tomorrow. They suck. All that, taking all that into account, and then you would think the president of a team with that history would come out with just like a little bit of humility, a little bit of understanding, a little bit of appreciation for the fans who have been with this team through this insane period of futility, who've been supportive financially. We're on the hook for this new ring. Huge taxpayer dollars going to this new ring. We've been supportive of the team through thick and thin, and here we are in a really tough spot. And, for him to come on and go on in that article and keep being like, what the fans don't understand, you think he would have come on with a bit of appreciation.
We understand what the fans' frustrations.
Yeah, you can't say, listen, we know this has been a tough time. Like, we understand you're frustrated. We understand where you guys are at. You know what? We're really excited for the future. Just something to that effect. Instead of like this arrogant nonsense of just talking down to the fans in this delusional mindset and saying, actually, we know better. And I mean, even further in the article where he's referencing teams like Chicago and San Jose and Anaheim and saying like, well, we'll see how those teams do. Like, I know they're having a good start, but they've been out of the playoffs for a really long time and they're losing fans. And like, we don't want to do that. It's like, what are you talking about?
The craziest thing to me was when Francis asked him about the potential of getting a guy like Gavin McKenna first overall. And he goes, yeah, well, we're not living in a fantasy world here. We don't know if he's going to be good or not. And it's just like, yeah, for the first 8 weeks, 10 weeks of this NHL season, all the NHL scoring leaders are all first overall picks. And it's just like, what? You're the one living in the fantasy world, pal.
That's exactly right? Like, oh, it's a fantasy land. No, you're living in fantasy land. You're living in some fantasy land where the Calgary Flames have done something, had any success, modicum of success in your time in Calgary, which is spanning 10 years. We've done nothing. You're the one living in a fantasy land if you're going to try to push that picking in the top 5 wouldn't foundationally change this team and completely change the feeling in the fan base and get us on board. Instead, it's the exact opposite. It's, oh man, I don't want any part with trying to pick in the top 5. You're living in a fantasy land. Your head, like, are you spending too much time in the Arizona sun? Like, are you on the golf course too much? Do you know what's going on in the league? Or are you just taking calls from like, you're going golfing and like taking calls and be like, oh, it's like it's 15 years ago. You read these things that he says and the things he's talking about. I was like, you think you're reading an article from 15, 20 years ago. It's crazy.
We'll be doing a full deep dive on this most likely tomorrow. You're around tomorrow. So you can catch that on the In the Dome podcast. Mikey will be well rested and
I'll be
you'll have what 3 or 4
I'll be fired.
You'll have 3 or 4 coffees in you by then. So if you want to tune into that, we'll go in depth on that.
I know everybody's frustrated, and I'm really intense, and I know people are kind of using this cope of like you said, you know what, we have to operate with the principle of we have to judge them on what they do, not what on they say. But I think at this point, when you're saying,
when you've been judging what they've done the last 20 years,
yeah,
it's a good indication of what they're going to do next. So.
Right. And when what they're saying is so insane, and also like, take it to the fact that, and media reports are kind of a fickle thing, but it's like Friedman saying the owners at this point don't want to move on from their veteran players and they don't want to tank, rebuild. Drager's saying it every week. If you listen to Steinberg's show, he's saying at this point in time,
the owner loves this core.
The owners don't want to do that. People are saying the owner loves this core. He doesn't want to trade yet. And then the president of the team comes out and doesn't just like insinuate it or like he says it over the course of a 5-minute interview on live TV and over a 2-part article that is up on Sportsnet.
Saying he wants to be no part of a team that's picking the top 3 or 5.
I want no part of that. So, like, I think we can end the cope of like, oh, it's just a smokescreen. They're just playing 5D chess, bro. It's like, well, they're either telling us the truth or they're lying to us. Do you think they would go to this much effort to like lie to us, to have like some smokescreen? Like, we're going to get a better return in the Kadri deal if we just lie to everyone. It's like, they actually think these things. They believe these things. That's very worrisome.
When asked about moving Kadri, he says, no, we need more Kadris.
Yeah, we actually need more Nazem Kadris. Okay, Don. Oh, dude, someone pulled up. It was funny. Someone sent me a ESPN article interviewing Don Maloney from 10 years ago,
where saying a lot of the same things.
Dude, like word for word, he's talking about trading Keith Yandel. Or I don't know, Keith Yandel was on the Coyotes, and he's like, we need more Keith Yandels, not less. And he's just literally saying beat for beat for beat what he was saying to Eric Francis. So, you know what? I think that's really maybe fundamentally at this is like, Don Maloney, who are you? Why are you in this role? Why do you have so much power in this organization when, you haven't really done anything in your career? You're still speaking nonsense anytime I see you. And it's just, it's shaken the confidence of everybody in the fan base. I think even if you're a person who doesn't believe the Flames should tank or whatever side of the argument, you can understand why the last few days have been like shaking people's confidence, because it's not been a good look any way you slice it. Any way you fucking slice it, it's been bad. So like I said, lock him in the hot stove lamp. If he's going to run the team, he shouldn't run the team. He shouldn't be running the team, but if he is, at least put him in a laboob. I don't want to see him. I want to see Craig Conroy. Craig Conroy is the man I believe in. Craig Conroy is the man I want to hear from. Maybe they're stifling Craig Conroy. Maybe he can't work autonomously. That's a discussion that's happening right now, but I don't want to see Don Maloney. And I hope the PR department has learned their lesson at this rate. Holy cow.
Tune in for the Rebiggle breakdown on the In the Dome podcast coming out in the next couple of days. So let's get to the third period. Huberdeau, he got a 2, 5, and 10 for that. So we started a 3-minute power play.
Yeah.
To start the third period. Anderson has a bit of a bomb, goes off Farabee's leg, look like.
Yeah, foot, leg. The old Beesmeister. The old Beesmeister scoring some goals here.
What has he got, 5 now? 6? He's starting to put some goals.
He's starting to put the old John Tortorella confidence problems behind him, eh? Maybe he's a guy you should look. Maybe if he gets on a heater, consider trading him.
We need more Farabees.
We need more Joel Farabee. We need more Blake Colemans. We need more. No, you actually need more Gavin McKenna's. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the league for the past 20 fucking years.
How about one?
Yeah,
Could
one would be
one.
And see, this is,
I like because there's been so much reference to, the young, exciting team we just had with Johnny Gaudreau and yada, yada, yada. It's just like, you completely lucked out. 4th round pick with Johnny Gaudreau. Without him, this team would be even worse than worse.
Yeah, you wouldn't have even had that glimmer of, you wouldn't even had that 5-6 year glimmer of actually being good. Don't tell Don Maloney that though, because he'll use Gaudreau being a 4th round pick to springboard into. Right. And that's the other thing. I don't know. There's so much to get into that just is logically.
Yeah, we like the Dallas model where you just absolutely friggin' nail a draft and get like 4 or 5 studs out of it.
Well, yeah, he's talking to Eric Francis. And by the way, Francis, great job. I know we give you some shit.
Francis asked some great questions. All the pointy questions, really.
Nailed it. And even I was listening to his hit with Pat on the radio on the drive home last night. And even he was like, what the fuck are these guys talking? What is he saying? He's saying he doesn't want to get McKenna. Is he nut? It was pretty funny. But, Eric's asking him like, yeah, what about the draft? And he's like, well, the draft is like a crapshoot and it's such an inexact science. So to try and get a franchise player in the top
3
is it just top 3? It's just a fantasy land. We prefer to do what Dallas did. Oh, what Dallas did, pick in the top 3, pick Heiskanen in 3rd overall. And then that's a fantasy saying we're going to luck out and pick all of our franchise players with a top 3 pick, mind you, in one draft. That's fantasy.
Yeah.
And see what this is all code for, what this all means in my mind, and I think everybody knows this, is that all that it means is the Flames just want to get the best result with the most little groundwork. It's like, how can we be good again with it? They're just looking for a shortcut. And that's why when they started trotting out this retool stuff, I was immediately put off, because if you're a longtime Flames fan, you'll remember they tried to pull this when Jay Feaster took over the team. This is the bill of goods they were selling. Well, it's not going to be long. It's going to be quick. It's going to be a retool. We're going to sell off some of these guys and we're going to turn around real quick. And it's like, you can't really do that. But that's what they're always looking for. And then ultimately, they did end up stumbling, being bad enough, kind of exactly what's happening now. They're bad enough where they are being able to pick guys like Monahan, 6th overall, Tkachuk, 6th overall, Bennett, 4th overall. So it's just they're looking for the shortcut is what that means. Because if they just stopped fooling around, and he's referencing Anaheim being out of the playoffs for 7 years in this article. That's a long time. We're headed for 4. Are we going to be a playoff
Probably
team
5 by next year?
Are we going to be? Do you foresee this team being a playoff team in 3 years? It's going to be tough. So you're already headed there. So just lean into it.
Well,
lean into it.
If you're counting on all these aging vets to take you there, they're just going to be 3 years older in 3 years.
And what are you going to need when you get there? Like, you can get what you need to get there by trading these veterans. You need the assets they will bring back to get to that point. And that's the ultimate problem. That's the ultimate problem, because tank or no tank is that the Flames never seem to have. I don't know if it's the Flames, because I think we all believe in Craig Conroy. It's the cronies around him who have their fingers in the cookie jar and cooking in Connie's kitchen that I think we're worried about, is they don't really have or will commit to a year by year plan that gets them to a long-term goal. It's just kind of this, like, we'll see what happens.
It's a 1-year plan every year.
Yeah, we're going to decide at the end of the year. We'll reevaluate. We're going to reevaluate. And I mean, this plagued the Tree Living teams as well. This is why that team didn't have a ton of success, because instead of building year to year to year, like a guy like Bill Zito did in Florida, or, teams who aggressively go crazy like Vegas, it was kind of just this hands-off, like, well, we don't know. Like, we think we have a good team. We're just going to try and make the playoffs this year. And that's why it was in the playoffs, out of the playoffs. Win the division, out of the playoffs. Really good team, really bad team. It was just because there was no long-term vision that was stuck to and built on year by year by year. That's what you need to create a championship team, tank or not. So that's why they just need to get out of this stupid mindset. It's just a mindset they're stuck in, of just like this weird shortcut mentality. I don't know why it's so pervasive in the organization. I don't understand it. It sure seems to be a sticking point with this organization, though, and it's causing a lot of problems, and it's causing me a lot of personal goddamn stress. So I wish they'd cut it out.
Oh, but you're so entertaining when you're stressed out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Coleman has an unbelievable chance. Missed the net. All alone in front.
Doesn't sound like Coleman.
Flames go on an 18-second 5-on-3. Nothing happens. Coronato's back. We saw the highlight of him being all stitched up, and then Robertson cuts the lead to 1.
Whoa, is this a nasty
killer? He always scores against us.
Oh, yeah. He's an everyone killer, but definitely a Flames killer for sure.
Like we mentioned, Coronato was buzzing coming back from getting his face all stitched up. Stars tie it. Let's watch this.
That's kind of a breakdown. I don't know. That's a tough one, but hey, they blew that 5-on-3. I thought that was it. I think everybody thought it was. Well, no. Like I said, I thought it was it until I saw Gully. I saw Gully having a little chuckle on the bench, and I was like, actually, you know what? We got this. We got this. Fuck you, Glenn. We've got this. Fuck you and your slicked back hair, you fucking dork. We've got this.
Weir fires over the glass, goes in the box, and the new guy Beecher puts us down 5-on-3, but Flames kill it off. Cooley had another huge stop.
He was clutch, dude. He was great.
Before we get to OT, mark your calendars. January 23rd to 25th, 2026, the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament is back at the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. The ultimate getaway in the heart of the Rockies. It's 4-on-4 pond hockey at the ODR with teams of 4 to 8 players battling it out for the coveted Jasper Cup. But it's not just hockey. Hang out with the Nation Network crew, pro hockey alumni, and fans from across the country for a weekend of live watch parties, prizes, and off-ice fun around Jasper. So grab your crew, lace them up, and get ready for an unforgettable weekend. Spots fill up fast, so head to nationgear.ca and register your team today. Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, where hockey meets the Rockies. You just knew we were going to a shootout.
Anytime we got to do the show on a late night, it's always, I just want to go to bed so bad. And
that had to be probably the most boring OT I've seen in a while.
It was 4-on-4. Start
4-on-4 is terrible. And I got a suggestion. Change it. There should be a new rule. Start 3-on-2. If you got a guy in the box to start OT, start 3-on-2. When your guy gets out, it's 3-on-3. This is bullshit. That 4-on-4 was not entertaining in this light. What do you think of that?
Dude, I hate 4.
Is that too much to ask? 3-on-2?
Yeah.
Is that too crazy?
Why not? I've never understood that. It's like even when they do, if you get a 2-man advantage, it's 5-on-3. Screw it. Like go 5-on-2. It should be, 4-on-2. How about? That'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know why they don't.
That's like some Vince McMahon fucking. What was that football he started?
Yeah. Just like the indoor, that sounds
extreme football.
Imagine like a 2-on-2. 2 guys get offsetting penalties. That's what they should do. Just go 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, 2-on-2 for a few minutes. That'd be great. I think that'd be sweet.
Huberto had a great chance to finish it in OT. Doesn't. And then Johnson, he had one trickling. Did ball save that from going in? I guess
it looked like it wasn't going to go in, but it still looked cool in live time.
And then we go to the old shootout, and you're just sitting there like, oh my God, is Husk going to make my blood boil again tonight? He starts with Frost. Frost is better than Costco, let's be honest. Robertson sniped to tie it up. The Sharon Govich pick, we touched on it, didn't love it.
Yeah, I would have gone with.
Wait till, if this guy's got 12 goals on the season already and he's feeling it, put him in there, but I don't he's not feeling it.
He's feeling very sad.
You think he was thinking about Lego on his way in?
He's probably very sad.
Was he thinking about what he was going to build tonight, right now?
I got to be honest, his obsession with Legos is that probably it should have been our first red flag in turning into that contract. I don't know, man.
I'll be honest, when they selected him, I'm like, where the fuck is Coronato? Yeah. It should be Coronato, then Kadri. They put Coronato, and he had a good attempt. Let's watch that. And I don't mind if guys like Coronato, he's been awesome.
That's what they should be doing. That's what the purpose of all this is to give some of these younger guys who, maybe aren't that young. They're young by Calgary standards. That's what they should be doing. They should be in these positions. They should be in these high-pressure situations. You don't need to throw Backlund out there every single time.
Cooley makes a save on Johnson, so Kadri has a chance to ice.
I love it. That's a 6. I thought he
loved the behind the net angle on that because it was like he hit the mesh at the top of the net.
That was perfect.
Imagine
being right behind the net and seeing and hearing that. I like that.
That was disgusting. So Don Maloney gets the last laugh tonight.
Don Maloney wins tonight. The Flames are on a 2-game heater here. They're probably just rounding into form. Probably going on their little heater.
It wasn't like after Murray Edwards says how much he loves the core, they couldn't score for 4 games straight. But we'll see what happens this upcoming week.
3-1-1 in the last 5, beating Dallas. Playing Vancouver tomorrow, who sucks. They're pathetic. I don't like where this is headed for the tank, man. Like you said, I didn't even notice we were not in last. Yuck. Can I have anything?
Nashville is now officially last place with 16 points. Calgary has 17 points, but they've played 2 more games. So Nashville's got 2 games in hand.
Yeah, but Nashville is going to sell everyone. They're open for business. They're going to lean into the tank. We're going to keep everyone. We're going to get a bit of good vibes going on.
We got another tank bowl tomorrow night, man.
I know, but Vancouver's so pathetic that it's like Wolf in net tomorrow. He's fresh. I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty bummed out about the tank status right now.
We've all seen Ladd McDonald make some incredible comebacks on the ice, but his greatest one didn't happen in the arena after going into cardiac arrest at the Calgary airport. It was the incredible cardiac team at the Foothills Medical Center that saved his life. Now Ladd is using that second chance to give back, helping Calgary Health Foundation raise funds to upgrade our city's cardiac catheterization labs. These upgrades mean faster diagnosis, safer procedures, and more lives saved right here at home. You can see Lanny Shar's emotional story on Calgary Health Foundation's website. And until December 31st, your donation will be matched. Head to givehealth.ca to learn more. It's for a good cause. Kate, you touched on it. Platinum Mitsubishi road ahead. Let's take a look at the schedule coming up here. Vancouver tomorrow night. And then you got the old
okay, maybe I feel a little better because
Atlantic Division Gauntlet.
We're probably going to get absolutely shit canned. Was that last year? We get shit canned there every time we take that.
I think it was like a 7-1 loss in Tampa.
Okay, so I can survive a little okay stretch here as long as Tampa, Florida, and Carolina beat the living shit out of us. But then we have a real tank bowl. First game of December is with Nashville. So I guess St. Louis lost tonight, so that's okay. But I don't know, man.
That'll be the tail end of a 5-game road trip in Nashville on December 2nd. So yeah,
I'm feeling a little down in the dumps. I want to watch this Cooley interview.
Vancouver, then Tampa, Florida, Carolina, Nashville coming up. Okay, let's do this. Anytime goal scorer. I tried to pick anytime goal scorer, but Bet365 didn't have them available yet. I guess there's a lot of betting going on tonight, so they don't have that updated. But I did pick the underdog, Seattle Kraken, to beat the Islanders. You got a nice little +145 odds on that. I think that's a pretty decent underdog.
I got to be honest. I don't think it sounds great, but I would never tune into a Seattle Islanders game, to be perfectly honest. Even if I had nothing else to do. So
the road ahead was brought to you by Platinum Mitsubishi, family owned and operated by lifelong Calgarians. At Platinum, lease and finance rates start at 0%. Get ready for winter with a brand new Outlander Escape Cross or RVR, or try out Canada's best-selling plug-in hybrid, the Outlander PHEV. Get into the best back cars in the country with a standard 10-year powertrain warranty at Platinum Mitsubishi, 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. It is time to go to the chat. Have you been keeping an eye on the chat tonight? I can't keep an eye on it when I'm going through my notes. I've
got like one eye. I was trying to watch Devin Cooley's interview without sound, but it wasn't really working. So I've been kind of not paying attention. So it looks
like you can't lip read or what?
Here, not Devin Cooley. He's like, he looks like a mime, guys.
Okay, let's hit these super chats to begin. And then anything you guys want to talk about, questions, comments, discussion points, throw them in there. Cheeks McGee,
bruh,
$1.99 donation. Is Coronato legit a hockey guy? Also, fuck Rantanen.
They don't call him the Bison for nothing.
He's been so good the last, 2.5 weeks. Amidst playing on the worst placed team in the league. The team is not looking good, can't score, but there's Coronato every night. Buzzsaw, generating chances, generating shots, putting up goals, scoring power play goals,
getting his head smashed in, coming back without missing a beat, coming right out there and getting back to work. He's definitely a hockey guy.
My parents were over for the game, and my mom's like, "Why did he even come back? Look at his face."
He's a hockey guy.
Because he's a fucking hockey guy.
He's a beast, dude. That's why. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to manufacture. I like Rantanen, so it's like I don't know what he's thinking, what he's doing, but I'm gonna have to manufacture.
I want to see some. When do we play the Stars next? I want to see some retribution.
Yeah, we got to see some retribution. We got to see some clap.
Lombo will be in.
Right. We didn't have Lombo will be in the lineup next time we play.
Guaranteed. Klapka will be all over him. We don't play him in December though.
They were sure having a chuckle. I don't know. The panel goes to the intermission and everybody's like, they were making some joke about John Garrett made some joke about how Rantanen's like Chris Pronger. They were howling. It's like Matt Coronato's face is smashed in and everyone was just having a good old chuckle.
It seems like whenever the Flames are on the end of a cheap shot, it's always funny to them. But when it's the Oilers, it's the goddamn end of the world.
Imagine that was McDavid. Imagine the intermission if McDavid just got his face smashed in. There would be a national inquiry. The RCMP would be there.
There'd be a criminal investigation going on right at the moment.
It would be insane.
So it looks like they don't play the Stars till March 3rd.
Hey, Lombo, we've got a long memory.
That's a long way to go. What these do?
We've got a long memory here in Calgary.
We sure do. We still Boo Fox every time he's in the dome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else we got on Super Chats, Yasmin?
Uyghur's a -18, worse than the NHL. Trade him and fire Maloney. Well, I agree with the fire Maloney part for sure.
Man, he's having a tough season, eh?
He really is.
What's that all about?
I thought he was like kind of effective at times tonight. He was kind of jumping up in the rush.
Yeah, there's a few plays he stood out.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just, do you just have bad years?
Well, and like you mentioned on the last Afterburner, playing with a new D partner every single game. Can't help.
Yeah, and who are his D partners, right? Who are his D partners all the time? Like, he's not really playing with the cream of the crop of NHL defensemen anymore. He's not playing with Chris Tanev anymore, right? When him and Chris Tanev were the most elite, dynamic defensive pairing in the entire league. He's playing with Kuznetsov. He's playing with Hanley. He's playing with whoever they have to stick him beside. So, and it's got to be frustrating too for him. I think the style of play the Flames play, I don't know if that's really suited to his game either. So,
true.
I wouldn't trade.
He scored 20 goals his first season.
Was it his first season or was it last year? Dude, that was last year.
No, he didn't score 20 last year.
Uyghur
did not score 20 last year. It was his first season.
My tripping balls. Yeah, it was his first. It was his second year because his first year was under Darryl. It's his first year under Huska. 20 goals, 52 points.
Wow.
So, yeah, he's having a rough time. 4 assists, 23 games.
I would agree.
But we love Uyghur.
He's not really on my trade list at the moment.
Unless you get to the point where he's like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore.
Listen to Don Maloney. Uyghur's like one of the last guys on their potential trade list.
Yes. I mean, if we're even saying don't trade Uyghur, I mean, if someone came to you with an offer, don't say no. But I mean, I wouldn't be. You got to hit the cap floor, and he's a great guy. So
the young guys love him.
Everyone loves him. And again, like you said, imagine we were shooting the shit last week, just talking about Zane Parekh and kind of like how the organizations dicked him around. But Zane has said before, I think his end of season presser, like how much Uyghur took him under his wing and like was taking him out and like talked to him for hours. So, if you do have a guy like that, see, that's the thing. We're not total assholes who don't believe in dressing room stuff at all. It's just like, don't overblow it. It's like, it's nice to have you need good leaders in your organization.
Don't sell tickets based on how great the dressing room is.
Exactly.
Get some elite talent on the ice.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more super chat to get to. Calicia, $75.
I think this is Ken, good buddy Ken.
It sounded like Maloney hinted Conroy's job is in jeopardy if the Flames tank. Is it possible to put Maloney on waivers? Wanting a Mikey rant tonight. Did you get satisfied with the rant you got?
Yeah,
tonight?
I went like semi hard. Like I said, it's late. I'm
tune into the In the Dome show. He'll be fired up tomorrow.
I have a headache from just being pissed off all day. So, yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't know. There's again, like this is the thing with why this set everybody off, because there's so much consternation within the fan base right now with what the Flames should do. And you're being met with so much like resistance from the Flames management, even if they're just saying it. Let's say you're insane. Let's say they're insane and they're just saying it to lie to you as a smokescreen. Or what are they going to say? Let's say they're just saying it. It needs to change. The messaging needs to change. You don't need to come out and unnecessarily light a fire amongst the fan base, because we're already pissed off. We're already nervous. We're already worried. We're already like concerned with things. You don't need to come over and like kick over the apple cart and give us all the reason and all the excuse to be concerned. So, this one, everybody's kind of talking this week because we've all kind of like started to notice like, yeah, Conroy doesn't have an extension. And then why is Don Maloney being trotted out in front of the media? Where's Craig? What's going on?
We haven't really heard from Craig all season.
Yeah, nothing at all. So I think what Ken's referring to is, in part 2 of this interview that Eric Francis did with Don Maloney, Francis straight up asked him, he's like, what about the future of Craig Conroy? Like what's going on there? Any updates? And he didn't comment. He wouldn't comment. He said, I'm going to not comment. We're going to do that internally, all this bullshit, whatever. I mean, I guess, yeah, what's he going to say? I mean, it would have been nice for a ringing endorsement. It would have been nice for, again, something. Give Don Maloney PR training. He couldn't have said he's done a great job so far. And we're taught like, right, you don't have to commit to anything or give us any inside information. You can play that off a little bit better. But the part that I think some people were kind of like, huh, that sounds kind of weird, is that, he praised Craig only in the sense that he's made Calgary a good place to come play. Like Eric said, like, what have you liked about what Craig has done? It was just kind of like this weird meandering answer about like, oh, like he's made Calgary an attractive place to come play. Like,
and then he mentioned that if we had those players that he traded 2 years ago, we'd be fucking, what would we be?
Yeah. So sorry about my rambling, but that's what I was getting to, is that he made this comment about like, well, year one was tough for Craig Conroy, dealing with all the really good players who are at the end of the contract. And if we had some of those players right now, they might be helping us. And it was kind of like, what? That's kind of a weird thing to say. So, and then you think back, here's the exact quote. I'll read the exact quote so I don't misquote. Don Maloney says, I think the first year was very difficult with the number of good players we had at the end of their contracts. A couple of those guys would probably help us right now, but we got through that. I think year two was very strong, but again, you want to keep the pressure on each other and why we say we want to be a playoff team. And then he goes on his dumb rant about wanting no part of being a top 5 drafting team. But, combine that with what we know about how a lot of those deals went down. If you remember that season, it was a lot of stop and start. It was a lot of the Flames really want to keep Lindholm. The Flames really want to keep Hanifin. Like Hanifin's contract extension was off the table, they'd win a game, it's back on the table.
Same with Lindholm. What they offer him before the season started?
Yeah, they offered him a huge deal. And, kind of some of us took note of, we were really excited about them moving out all these players, but it was kind of like, okay, like what are they going to, they had to trade these players, probably because Craig pitched them, and rightly so. But I imagine he had to kind of convince everyone that we can't, on the basis of, we can't let what happened with Johnny Gaudreau happen again. So if these players don't have a contract, I have to be able to trade them. So he was probably given the go-ahead to trade those guys under those conditions. Because what you've seen now is an unwillingness from the Flames, for the most part, like Markstrom's an exception, maybe Mangiapane. But over the last 12, 14, 16 months, there has been a resistance to trading players who still have term on their contract. Yeah. I.e., they don't, they're not getting ahead of these things. They won't trade them unless they have to.
They won't make a preemptive move and try and cash in, try and get more back for the player than you might.
Unless there's a contractual, unless their contract's ending. And he referenced that, right? These players, these good players who are at the end of their contracts, if we had some of those players right now, it would be helpful. So it's kind of like, oh man, like, and I think if anything this week, we've all kind of been a little bit worried. And I think our worries have been, I don't know if they've been confirmed, but it seems this way that Craig Conroy is not operating particularly in an autonomous manner. It would seem there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of cooks in the kitchen right now, and combine that with reports from some media members like Dave Pagnotta last week saying there is a bit of a disconnect between ownership and the GM right now. So I don't know what's going on there, but they need to they need to let Craig Conroy do what Craig Conroy wants to do. I don't understand why Craig Conroy isn't the president of hockey operations. Not to go all Don Maloney rant at 1 a.m. here, an hour and a half into this show, but I don't know why Don Maloney has that role. Craig Conroy should have that role. I trust Craig Conroy. I don't trust anyone else at this point in time in upper management, and that's really only Don Maloney. Now, we don't know the dynamic that's at play, but I think this week
it's starting to become more and more telling, though.
Yeah, I think this week you shed light on it.
We've been harping on here that media, do your fucking job and get these answers to the fan base. Like you said, France did a great job. We got to see more of this. We got to see more grilling of these guys at the top. And if they can't ask them straight up who runs the show, at least we're starting to kind of figure it out.
We're just following the breadcrumbs like idiots. We just have to figure all this shit out. But for the love of God, they need to let Craig Conroy do it. Because you know what? That's another thing that bothered me about this little interview was, he didn't speak poorly of Craig, but I know Craig's made mistakes. But man, like, do you remember this guy? They should be on their hands and knees thanking this guy who came in after Brad Treliving wouldn't come back. They begged him to stay, and he didn't want to extend. And Craig came in and cleaned up an absolute shit show, an absolute steaming pile of dog shit that Brad Treliving left for this organization. And Craig was tasked with that, and he absolutely nailed it. And he's absolutely nailing the draft. And I think he does have a vision for this team 3, 4, 5 years down the road that would lead to success. So, you know what? This team, number one, maybe be a little thankful for Craig Conroy because he's the fucking man. We ride or die Craig Conroy. Number two, get him signed to an extension. Number three, fire Maloney and promote Conroy.
Friedman did touch on Connie not having an extension yet, but Friedman did say he thinks that it'll get done.
It better, because again, we're all very concerned. We're all on just high alert. We're just have our warning signs come up. We're going to be alerted. So,
a few more comments to get to before we close this thing out. Imagine Coronato with a star next to him.
Oh, like Gavin McKenna, maybe? Like, I don't know. That'd be crazy, dude. I'd love to imagine that.
I did not know about this, but Gritting got a high stick and went flying into the boards, came back and scored minutes later. Another hockey player.
Huge hockey guy. I know Cullen Potter scored an OT winner tonight, too. So, yeah, I love Greedon.
We got one more super chat came in. Molten X on Twitch. Wranglers were a fun watch tonight in San Diego. Gallant Tilt was phenomenal. Dude,
great. That was like, I watched like half of it on Instagram before he came on here. That's an all-timer fight.
Send that to me.
Dude, it was crazy. It was nuts.
Okay, I think I'm just checking the chat one more time here. I think that about does it. I know you got lots to say, but save some for the podcast.
I'm so sorry.
But give us some closing. Give us some closing. Give us some closing thoughts. Give us some closing thoughts.
I don't know. It's been a tough week, dude. It's been a tough week for Flames fans. Donald Maloney, number one, lock him away. Don't let him speak. That's like, just don't let him speak. Let Conroy do the speaking, please. Please.
And
it's just, I'll just reiterate
of assets.
I'll just reiterate kind of what Boomer said on Friday. Is like, you're like right there. Conroy has set you up in a spot where this could be a franchise altering moment where we do become the team that a lot of us have dreamed about, an elite team, with just a little more stick-to-itness, finishing in the bottom five this year and maybe next year with the amount of great prospects Craig Conroy.
We got so many good prospects in the pool
has acquired over the past few years. Like, you're just right there. They're like, you have to let that shit go, guys. They got to let it go. They're holding on. I don't really know what they're holding on to. 2 playoff series wins in 20 years. They're just holding on for dear life. And it's like, if you just let it go, it'll all be good, man. So listen to Devin Cooley. Here's what they need. Here's what the Flames owners and upper management need. Devin Cooley to go in there and just give them like some philosophical speech about like letting go or some shit and just letting things happen. That's what they need. Murray Edwards, Murray and Don Maloney, like nothing matters. We're all going to die one day. You may as well tank.
Let go and let Connie go to work. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining the chat tonight, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show.